What is going on? I'm Zmot. It is Friday, and that means time to get that creator boost refreshed. It does expire. I try not to be super annoying and naggy, but it's got to happen sometimes. I got two awesome things on warships to show you. I've also got all sorts of things because we are going to do all of the boom. Gonna do some op hits, gonna do some imitation game, gonna just do all of the things. And the first thing we're gonna do is get that free trader crate. I have stopped doing that. Just a reminder though, that Captain Rudero, that guy that is right about there, is coming to the main base at some point. We don't know what headquarters level is gonna get him, but you wanna stock up on those hero tokens. So it would really suck if he dropped when the trader wasn't here, because you would not have enough of those hero tokens to get him and his abilities rocking and rolling. So trade some of those trader crates, get some of those hero tokens, and prepare yourself, because Rudy is coming at some point. Don't know when, don't know how, don't know why. Actually, I know why, but just get those things moving. Next up, we're going to jump into warships, and I have two great things, like I mentioned. The first one on this account is the remote hack. So good. Just absolutely crushing bases with it. And even when I screw up, it's saved me a little bit. So I wanted to show you this one attack right here. My seeker drops are still not good at all times, and this person has 200% building damage, and I failed to pay attention. So remote hack, getting rid of a shock launcher, getting rid of a second shock launcher, and then these seekers on this right-hand side, that one flamethrower just absolutely toasted them. As we get rid of a doom cannon now, we've now done 3 remote hacks, and this is when I started to notice that, this is not going super duper smoothly. So I threw one more shock, and this right-hand side is done, and then I just farmed all the gunboat energy, just not throwing any more GBE, just waiting for that last engine room to go down and just hoping that we could do something over here, and this is where the fun began. Hacking both the cannon and the boom cannon with no troops left and having them take down the engine room. So maybe, just maybe, if you've got a boom cannon and a doom cannon or a cannon or something like that next to your engine room, you might want to reconsider that in the next little bit. This account was down in low level 19 until I got remote hack, and now we have cruised back up into 22. So you've already seen lots and lots of seeker hits. Just know that times are fairly good. I did fizzle in a big way. So if you're looking to stop seekers, do go get yourself those shock mines, but absolutely cruising through bases, even going a little bit slower on some of them, and knocking some players out of diamond in the process, and it just gets so super simple. Like, just both shock launchers gone, and then the doom cannon shocked, and then we just sneak some troops up that right-hand side and throw a shock, and 5 engine rooms are an absolute joke against remote hack and 6 engine rooms with seekers. So do get yourself moving forwards as fast as you possibly can. Seekers just cruising with remote hack. A reminder, we've got 130% gunboat energy. We have shocks, we have remote hack, and seekers just cruising through things for the most part. There's definitely times when they're not, but doing great things on that front. Okay, back on the main base, just a quick note that there is troop mania happening, not full troop mania, but riflemen and tanks are 90% off. That means if you are using them on warships, you also get 90% off. That does help quite a bit if you do not have instant training. Not sure how many of you are using rifles at the second, but that should potentially help you. And I have seen a couple people playing tanks. So we are now going to do an operation attack on massive attack, and we are going to do an Outworks core hit. Not entirely sure that bullet is the right answer for this, but we're just going to try our darndest. Jumping on in. Notice that I do have shock knuckles set up. That is because I want to get bullet out front. I'm going to scout over here. So you see that all of the things are out in front of him. Going to use shock knuckles to get him out front. Then I'm going to use one shock on the mortars and one shock on the shock launchers, and then just hope that bullet takes all of the hits. Very unlikely that that's going to happen, but once in a while you get a little bit lucky. So that's what I'm counting on. We're going to farm all of this shore GBE because it's there, and why the heck not. And we do have the Barrage Tribe, which is tempting to get rid of that third shock or third mortar, but I think we should be okay without it. And as soon as I say that, I know I'm going to miss that shock. So please, please, please don't let me miss that shock. And when I do, just maybe throw an "I told you so" out there. So we lost a couple Zookas there, but in the process, we managed to get up to 208 GBE unboosted, which is pretty darn great. We're going to get these ladies walking, and that yellow line is so magical. Do always use that yellow line as a timing marker for your troops. You'll notice that it just gets everyone in the right place at the right time. Don't need to throw a med kit out there because barbed wire is not all that scary. And then we're just going to get all of our troops underneath that final smoke. That's not actually our final smoke. And then we're going to go something like this, and we're going to get all of our troops in there. We're going to throw a set of critters over there, and then I think I'm actually a little bit too close. So we're going to back off and then flare forwards and throw a shock there and a shock there, and bullet bangs out front, and all of a sudden we've got all of our troops hitting on that core. Need one more shock back here, and I told you that bullet was not going to block everyone on his own. So as a result, I think we're going to fail on this op hit, but we're still... No, we're done. So Barrage Tribe, hopefully saving the day, but I don't think it's going to happen. On the plus side, we do have 5 more hits to finish this op, so I'm not super duper concerned with that. You'll notice that Complex is 1, Outworks is 1, so figured I'd have a little bit of fun and give Bullets Shock Knuckles a try. Quick note that, as you can see there, just clicking on the hero, you can change their ability quickly and easily. You can also do that when you are scouting only. So the fact that we're scouting here, we can click on Bullet, change his ability. If we had any troops loaded, let's just load some of our good friends, the Riflemen, because they load so gosh darn fast. Now you'll notice that Riflemen do take 10 seconds to load. It doesn't come down to 1 second per Rifleman, but the cost is basically 0 because it's so gosh darn fast. And then if we are in an attack, this is still, in my mind, scouting, but you can't change your hero ability, which is why if you're playing warships and you're scouting your opponent's base, it's not the same sort of scouting. A little bit frustrating. Hopefully they change that at some point, but for the moment does not work. We are going to get into another warship goodness. And I told you that I got a second fun tool. Now, this account was down in low 13 yesterday. It has not been in 15 yet, and yet we have 7 engine rooms and shock mines and critter launchers. Just absolutely silly. But on the plus, also notice I only have 1 good tool. So this entire season on this account, I have held off for temptation for everything except for that super cheap troop damage. Not straying off for shocks, for brick, for Rudy, not even for Dr. Kevy Kavan or green mines. Taking that cheap path down the bottom and getting all the way to Bombadiers. Is that ridiculous and silly? Definitely. Am I the only person who was in rank 13 with Bombadiers this season? Also likely probable. But they're not very strong, sadly. I was kind of hoping they would rank me up to even 16 or 18, but it feels like that's going to be a long uphill grind. On the plus side, heavies are not far off, which will definitely help. Also, those choice nodes at the end of the season, way over here. Those are 1 key each. So if I can make it that far without absolutely becoming bored to tears with this account, we should have some good success. But without troop health, without anything that can actually stand out front and take some shots, it is rough sledding out here. Also, finding an opponent takes forever because everyone at the 7 engine room level is at like rank 22 or higher, or maybe they're just, I don't know. It's rough out here. So this person thankfully has no building damage, so I am going to mix in some riflemen because, as you know, they have a decent amount of numbers, and without Kavan, though, they just disappear so gosh darn quickly. We are going to use a flare, that way our bombardiers don't get in range of that. We are also going to use that active flare to do something like that, which I don't think is actually going to be active in this instance. We do have shocks, though, so there is... Actually, we don't have shocks, we have barrage. So we're going to throw a couple barrages back there. We're going to send you out there, and we've already lost a bunch of bombardiers because they are absolutely made of glass, unfortunately. So just need to balance all of the things, and rocket launchers just absolutely toast my bombardiers so gosh darn quickly that it is ridiculous. But I think we have enough distraction and enough barrage and enough damage. Oh, they all turned to the right-hand side. Perfect. So that boom cannon is going to eat them all up as we try to keep them alive and just not doing a great job. And then you end up with none of your cheap heavies left, which means that generally speaking, those hot pots just eat up my troops. But I think we're going to be able to get through this one. So on the plus side, before I was fizzling on every single base using riflemen or warriors, and now I can actually clear as I try my darndest to get some stat nodes. So if you were just absolutely holding out for bombardiers like I am/was, they are not super duper amazing. They are not going to solve all of your naked warships problems, but they definitely do make things a tiny bit more palatable, for lack of a better way to describe it. This attack obviously could have gone better. I did not give it my A game, and I did not give it all of my attention, but just wanted to get that out there, that bombardiers are coming. They're not going to be the magical be-all, end-all, and this person did not have building health or building damage. So if they did have building health and building damage, and I had troop health and troop damage, I still don't think they would be all that magical, but maybe. There's always the maybe. I have got 20 whole more keys now, and I can go unlock nothing new. Maybe I can go backwards and get something. Now that we've got bombardiers, there are some options way, way, way back here that can give us some good stuff, but I think I'm still going to hold out and just keep taking it on the chin and going forward for those heavies, because those heavies should help more than most things that are sitting around here. Painful, but we're still in 14. We're doing okay. Okay, we're going to do one of my favorite operation attacks, and I am going to do my darndest not to screw it up. High Five is one that many players struggle with because there's lots of things, and I really like it. Can't boost my Barrage Energy tribe, but we're going to give it a go anyways. Now, High Five has this rocket launcher on the right, which is a pain. It has a shock launcher on the left, and then the back one. So you can't go to this back section because you got shock launcher and rocket launcher. You can't come to this front section because you got shock launcher, rocket launcher. But we are going to do exactly that. And we are going to use Everspark's best ability, best goodness to do so. We're going to get that shock launcher damaged. That is going to be vital. Notice that my clearing mines at this front boom cannon did not damage it. Then we're going to throw 2 barrages at that back rocket launcher and just see how much health it has afterwards. And magically, it's gonzo. This is shaping up perfectly. There's also no rocket launcher where that front flamethrower is. No shock launcher where that front machine gun is. So this is way easier High Five than normal. And I will definitely take it. So we're going to flare back, a different kind of taking it. The warships taking it, I was not a good thing, but this one definitely is. And now we're going to click Everspark's button right about there. And we're going to leave about 3 tiles for her to jump out of that smoke. Maybe only left 2, but it should still be okay. Then we're going to throw that smoke right there to keep her alive and say bye, bye, shock launcher. I absolutely love this attack. Then we're going to throw a flare back there, some critters there, and clear all of those mines. Those troops also do damage. That shock launcher, which is going to do great things for us, watches our troops all turn towards that shock launcher in about now. Thankfully, this was a low-level operation, or all of our troops would have been melted by that shock launcher. And now we can just back the heck up. Our troops do like to move forwards a little bit. And we're just going to throw some more critters there and a shock there, and all is good in the world. Just going to hang out back here. Don't need to worry about those shields. When you're attacking bases that do have shield generators, always check the health on the core, because in this instance, watching players go for those middle shields and fail when you can just go get the core can be quite frustrating. We're going to throw a smoke on the core. We have finally done a half-decent core hit, and the reason why I love this hit is just that Houdini hit in that bottom left-hand corner there. Anytime you can use Houdini and keep her alive, that is just so satisfying. Speaking of satisfying, let's finish this video off with some Imitation game. It is Friday. Monday is a holiday here in Canada. Many people will be eating turkey. I will be eating pierogies. It is going to be my first Thanksgiving without my grandma, and my grandma always made pierogies, and the youngest person always had to stir the pot. So big family event this weekend, and my youngest daughter is forced to stir the pot, and I have great memories of being in the kitchen. It's one of those things as a kid, you're like, why me? And then later on you realize that, well, you were in the kitchen with like your grandma and your great grandma and your mom and your aunts, and it's a very much feminine, female thing in my family to be running the kitchen. My dad does not cook at all, which is odd. I definitely do. But anyways, we are going to do some fun things here. This troop right here is my favorite. Using riflemen with laser rangers, with brick and battle orders is just so satisfying. Anyways, trying to balance life moments and all of the boom beachy things. So anyways, Thanksgiving, probably no video on Monday for me, also none over the weekend, but we'll be back with a force on Tuesday with a very full belly. You might notice my voice sounds a little bit hoarse today. Daughter's first basketball game of the season last night. I am the assistant coach, and I don't know about you guys, but I like being the assistant coach better. Her basketball rules are that, and it might be all basketball leagues, I'm not sure, that only one coach can be standing at a time, and the head coach is, she is standing and yelling and instructing, and I just get to have quiet time with the girls. As they sub off, I give each of them one thing they did great on the court, and then I give them one thing to work on when they go back in, and I just get to pump them up and tell them what they did great and keep the smile on their face. I really do enjoy it. Coaching, and any of you that out there that are new parents that have ever played a sport and you assume that there's going to be good coaches out there, there's not. I always kind of held back. I played a lot of sports, and I think about sports a lot, and I'm very more of a cerebral player, if that makes any sense. So I kind of held back from coaching my kids, thinking there were going to be other better coaches, and there sometimes are, but most of the time, just get your feet wet. And it took me a couple years to figure that out, and now I just try and coach everything I can, because my kids don't always love being coached by their dad, and there's definitely some advantage for them being coached by someone else. And being an assistant coach is often very awkward, because you don't get to choose the head coach often, but I highly recommend it. Or just be the team manager, or just every time I always assume that there's going to be someone better, and then I'm frustrated when there's not. So it's better just to do it yourself and put all of your effort available into it, and things go fairly awesome. So, well, that's your motivational moment of the day. Speaking of motivational, these Laser Rangers with, yes, those are only the first 4 stages, I know, but just getting all of your troops, and sometimes using smoke and sometimes not, but when these ladies pop out of smoke and everything in front of them melts and Brick just keeps cheering them on like a good assistant coach would, and getting them rocking and rolling forward and watching them slay all of their opponents, super satisfying. Also, back to the basketball thing, daughter was super anxious because she plays on a rep fastball team, and she was playing against all of her teammates from fastball in basketball, and she was worried about being heckled in her Messenger Kids group chat, and she absolutely dominated. So very proud dad moment. She is one of the shorter girls on the team. I am 6'3". She will be tall at some point, but for right now, she is tiny. And I'm pretty sure that she led not only her team, but both teams in rebounds, just absolutely crushing the taller girls, boxing out like an absolute beast, and it was awesome to see. She's also point guard, had a bunch of assists, had some great crossovers for layups. He's only 11, so we're not talking about Caitlin Clark action here, but she is fantastically great. So great to hear and pretty darn awesome. Good to hear. I'm telling you, you're not telling. Anyway, you get the basic idea. Anyways, Imitation game stage 6 down. For those of you new to the channel, yes, I do tend to ramble and get off topic and talk about what's going on with me a little bit. I try to keep it to a minimum, but I often fail at that as well. So we are going to just drop all of these ladies, and if you are a low-level player who does not have Laser Rangers yet, please let this act as a reminder to please rush your headquarters. Rushing your headquarters does so many good things. You get new troops, you get new heroes, you get new abilities, and it just works so gosh darn well. This person did have some ice, one of them boosted, but we just absolutely walked through it unboosted, thanks to the beautiful power of Laser Rangers. And we only lost one of them by those Riflemen being out front, and you've probably seen this troop combo a whole lot in Warships, so maybe you're sick of seeing that, but did want to get that out there. Don't have the boom pass on this one. On my other account I do, and I'm slowly but surely making my way towards that haunted gunboat right about there. And for those of you asking why there are so many chests past it, it's so that if you diamond finish to the gunboat right now, you have something for the rest of the season. I think I'm going to leave it right about there. So reminder, do get your free crates, get those tokens ready for Rudy. He is going to be coming. You are going to want to max his bombing run, which by the way is affected by troop damage. You definitely want Rudy on the main base. It's going to be a lot of fun when he does show up. Also, rush that headquarters. We don't know what headquarters level he's going to come at, so it's best to get yourself all the way to headquarters level 26 just to be on the safe side. Also, you are ready for headquarters level 27, which I kind of assume will drop at the same time as Rudy, but who the heck knows? Could you imagine if headquarters level 27 is required to get Rudy? You better get pushing, my friends. Anyways, also do consider throwing me a comment, like, share, subscribe, but comments are the way to my heart. Also, code Zmot in all of the shops. I'll talk to you soon. Happy Friday, happy long weekend to those Canadian types. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.